I'm starting off with a two-person Hobie Odyssey kayak. It is not the Mirage system. I've added some Scotty pole holders. I've added about 5 of those. And this cross beam is set up for my fish finder, but it's also set up for a sail. So I've added amas. The Hobie Odyssey is already a very stable kayak, but by adding the amas, it gives me a lot more stability, especially since I'm going to add electric trolling motor to this setup. Alright, this is a pretty simple setup for my pole holder. It's the second one that I've made. It'll hold 6 poles, and I have 2 transom mounts for holding trolling motors. If one breaks, I have a backup transom. And I can also go out with 2 trolling motors if I like. Okay, that's my pole rod holder mounted. There's the motor mounted, and I added a dagger board or a slalom skiff board to my motor to help. Works really well as a rudder, especially if I'm using it as for sailing also. I'll go out with a couple of different batteries. The bigger one's a 55 amp hour Interstate, the smaller one's a 35 amp hour Interstate. Between the 2 of them I can get a good 8 hours of trolling. I go out with 2 systems, 2 battery systems, 2 cable systems in case I have any problems. So this is my backup battery system. I don't go out with, I'm going out there solo, so I don't need the second seat, so I use that to store my battery, my cable. And the main battery is right up in here. I can get quite a large battery in here. I use a little motor Minn Kota quick release cable connectors. Has a little 50 amp fuse on there, but it's good for counterbalance. It gets some weight in the front of the kayak, so helps me to track nicely. I added a fish finder. I got a GoPro mount here. I have another GoPro mount there. We have some safety issues here. I just recently added a water pump. It has an automatic bilge to it. And then right over here is where I can turn it on and off. And my cable. I'll load up a bunch of stuff inside of here. I have a leash here, which is when the water starts getting a little bit bigger swells, I'll leash myself to the kayak just in case, because it is motorized. I'd hate to fall out and watch my kayak troll away. Okay, and this black thing here is my fish tube to hold my bait. Most important is the safety items, so I always go out with the PVC, 2-way radio. I have my phone in a waterproof container. I have whistle. I have extra water pump. I have an emergency kit here with different survival items in there. I have tourniquet, hemorrhage bandages. I have a couple of power heads that can slip onto my kaji in case I had an aggressive shark or who knows what, but just little safety items to have. And this here is a shark shield, which is about a 7-foot antenna that puts out electrical pulse every 1/10 of a second. It's supposed to keep any predator sharks at least 30 feet away. I use that from time to time if I see sharks, or if I'm bringing in a fish and I feel there might be sharks in the area, I'll put that in the water. But just another level of protection, just in case you never know what might happen out there. Okay, almost done. Added a few rods to the setup. I got a Squall 50, a Squall 60, a Battle 8500 spinning reel, and then I have a little Fierce 5000 for catching my bait. And then, as you notice, I have a sail, and that's for when the winds get heavy, get strong out there. Okay, I've added a little bit more to my kayak. I've added a sail, which comes in handy if I'm out pretty far and the winds kick in. It saves me on really not having to use the battery, and also just in case I did have motor trouble, and at least I know I can sail back to Maui somewhere. Might not be the right beach, but it'll be a beach and not Tahiti. Added my reels. All right, here's my fully rigged ocean kayak fishing vessel. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting something, but this is what I go out with, and I feel pretty comfortable to be able to go out pretty far with this, and very stable boat. It's been out in some pretty heavy winds, some big water. And the fish bag on top here, I'll load up with 20 pounds of ice. So whatever I catch, I can ice down, keep it nice and fresh. Again, this is my rigged up kayak with motor. And if I like, I can set up a second motor. You can go with 2 battery systems. So redundancy is good.